Schweiker here, owner and principal attorney at Amigos Immigration Law and Services. Today, I'm here to talk to you about what your options are if you're an immigrant in the United States who is a victim of abuse. If you're already a United States citizen and you're being abused, this video is not for you, only for individuals who are not in status or are in the process of getting status. I get a lot of immigrants who come into the office saying that they're being abused and they feel helpless. They don't know what their options are or if there's anything that they can do. A lot of time because maybe they are in the process of getting status and they are threatened of being arrested or deported or having the process stopped by the abuser. That sounds like you, then this video is for you, because the good news is that there are probably some options available to you. The first couple options I'm going to talk about are under the Violence Against Women's Act. Next, I will also talk about the U visa, and then finally a little bit about the T visa. Okay, first and foremost, if you are being abused, then you need to get someplace safe. If your children are being abused, they need to get someplace safe. The United States has a lot of shelters. You can probably find one online, or if you don't have access to online, you can try calling the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. First of all, the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA. Okay, VAWA applies to both men and women, so don't let the name fool you. And the options under VAWA can be a self-petition for a green card, or if you've already gotten your conditional residency, there is a waiver available for people to get the conditions removed. And then there's a third option for people who are in removal proceedings or deportation proceedings. So the first one is a self-petition. This is a green card process. This process could be available to you if you are the spouse or child of a permanent resident or a United States citizen, or if you are the parent of a United States citizen who's over 21. If you're one of those and you're being either battered or subject to extreme cruelty, and I'm going to explain what exactly that means. Most of the time, you have to have resided with the abuser. If it's marriage-based, you need to show that it was a real marriage. And if you're a parent, this could also include step-parents. Step-parents would also be eligible if you're abused. You can file through this process and get a green card and possibly a work permit all at the same time without leaving the United States. This is available whether you entered with a visa or if you entered illegally, you might be eligible. Next is the waiver process. So the I-75 waiver. So this is for people who are spouses or children who got a conditional residence card. So that'd be on your green card if it says, CR in the green card code, and it's only a 2-year green card. You normally have to file to get the conditions removed by having the spouse or parent sign off on the I-751. If there's been abuse or battery during the marriage, you can file yourself to get the conditions removed, and you can file that either within the 90-day window before the expiration date of your card or any time after the expiration of your card. You can file for that waiver to get the conditions removed from your card and get your 10-year card. The third option under VAWA is cancellation of removal. VAWA cancellation is for individuals who are in removal proceedings. And just like a self-petition or the I-751 waiver, the abuser must be your U.S. citizen or a permanent resident spouse or parent. Okay, you have to be a victim of either battery or extreme cruelty, and you also have to show that you have been continually present in the United States and have good moral character for 3 years before filing your application. If you're a parent of an abused child, you may have a claim even if you're not married to the abuser. So again, if your child is being abused, you still may be eligible to file for the petition, even if you yourself are not being abused. Okay, so those are the 3 options. I'm not going to get into details. If you want to know more about those, you can give me a call. You can call up another immigration attorney. So what exactly is battery? So battery is what you would consider offensive touching. So that can be either violent touching, or it can be sexual touching, or some type of use of force that's without your consent. What is extreme cruelty? Extreme cruelty it's more difficult to explain, but you can think of it as a pattern or an intent of the abuser to control you or obtain compliance from you. And it can involve a lot of different behaviors, such as humiliation behaviors, control behaviors, controlling money, name calling, threats of violence, threats to cause immigration harm or legal problems, denying access to food, threats against family members, anything that makes you feel fear, lack of control. This could be considered extreme cruelty. It's kind of a longer conversation, but if it's happening, we can talk about it and may be eligible for relief under VAWA. Now, if you're subject to abuse and there is no spousal or parent or child relationship with a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, for instance, if you're the boyfriend or girlfriend of the abuser, you're not married yet, you're not going to qualify under VAWA, but being abused, you may be eligible for something called a U visa. Now, U visa is a pretty nice visa. It is a path to permanent residence. It can take a long time to get, but generally, if you are a victim of what's called a qualifying crime, and qualifying crimes can include domestic violence, felonious assault, rape, sexual assault, kidnapping, and a number of other offenses that might overlap with abusive behavior. If you're a victim of one of these crimes and you have suffered substantial physical or mental injury as a result of the abuse, and you're willing to assist in the prosecution of the criminal or the abuser, then you might qualify for a U visa. Now, part of this process does include notifying and working with authorities. So make sure you are at a safe place before you try doing this. It's a nice visa, even though it takes a long time to get. Lastly, there's something called a T visa. T visas are usually for victims of trafficking, which can be sexual trafficking or labor trafficking. Now, sometimes abuse, particularly sexual abuse, or even labor abuse, forced labor, coerced labor, could be a type of abuse from a spouse or a parent. This one is kind of not a good fit, but it could be. And the advantage of a T visa over U visa is that it is quicker to get. So if you're not sure if you qualify for any of these benefits, I recommend contacting an immigration attorney. These are all benefits that you can get. U visas and T visas in particular, you don't have to have lawful status. You don't have to have entered the United States lawfully. You can do all of these yourself without needing to contact the victim. I hope this is helpful to you. So good luck.